I'm Nick, and this is Kenny. We're the Malt Vault. Strap on.
Thanks for joining us today. We're going to drink, I don't even have one sitting in here.
Rhinegeist.
Support it. A
Spirit of the Rhine.
Yeah, Rhinegeist from Cincinnati. Nick?
Yeah.
You want to start or should I?
I
should have had this planned.
I can start. 2013, founded by Bob Bonder and Bryant Golding.
In? Wonderful. Cincinnati.
But we're going to refer to them as B&B on this episode because it's a lot easier to say B&B instead of saying Bryant and Bob.
Is that like S&M?
Less vulgar and crude.
Like a bed and breakfast, even.
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking.
All right. Well, I think Nick got the memo that they were founded in Cincinnati based on his attire. I'll start. Their flagship their flagship brew is Truth. That's what probably their most distributed beer, at least through Ohio. It's a 7.2% alcohol by volume, so it'll get you.
You know, the funny thing is you're drinking Juicy Truth.
Juicy Truth.
And one thing that I read on Untapped is actually
one.
Juicy Truth is your unleaded version because it is only 6.5% compared to the 7.2.
Yeah.
And the IBUs are significantly less. And it's actually rated higher.
It's got sugar in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It goes juicy.
It's not juicy fruit.
No, it's Juicy Truth.
Oh, Truth.
70.
Like,
so
the F in there.
The regular Truth from sorry for my uhs. The regular Truth from Rhinegeist is a 7.2% alcohol by volume, 75 IBUs. So it's up there. It's bitter. It's an IPA, which is why. 3.83 out of 5 stars on Untapped with 266,000 votes. So solid score. It's very good tasting beer. I like Truth. One of the most crushable IPAs.
You don't like lies. Got it. Seth, you and I are drinking Petrichor, which is one of their new wheat beers. Doesn't actually have an IBU rating yet. Only 561 ratings for a 3.58, and it's a 5.5%. What are your initial thoughts?
I mean, I'm in a post-truth era. I think you alluded to that earlier when you said something about being beyond truth, maybe. Mm-hmm. Did you say that? I made that up. I inferred it.
Sounds like a Nickism. Like you kind of set yourself up for that one in your own mind.
They also have an Imperial IPA named Knowledge. So are you post-truth prior? What would that be?
How would you state that?
Post-truth, pre-modern knowledge era. I don't know.
Sounds like a type of art.
But they have the truth and the knowledge.
Slap that in a canvas.
They've trademarked truth and knowledge, so they should run the media.
They trademark truth and knowledge. How do you do that as a company started in 2013? Okay.
Money talks. We all know it walks.
Yeah, 25,000 square. Yep.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
You're fine. You're pulling a Nick. It's okay. The circles have turned.
No, I was still talking.
Yeah.
I didn't pull anything.
We're going to have to check the tapes. Nick looks mad about that. Suspect even.
I'm probably guilty, so when in doubt.
Money talks. And we all know it walks.
Down the street.
Nick on his way home today.
2013. Yep. Year of the
Cincinnati.
snake.
Yep. You want to talk about B&B?
Yeah.
A little more, like how they met. You have that written down, and I got it over here if you don't.
Did you say year of the snake?
Yeah, 2013, year of the snake.
How do you know?
Google.
Oh, did you Google what year was that?
Yeah. And I looked up when
Why?
Brewdog started in 2007. That was year of the pig.
Why do you do this thing?
I don't know.
Why do you
I don't know.
For our Chinese audience.
It's compelling. Everything's going to China.
Yeah.
Everything's coming back from China. So why not just throw it in there?
Just a circle.
Corona.
That's going to get edited out.
Bob Bonder, Bryant Golding, they met.
Not by us.
Bryant was actually like kind of a freelance
Consultant.
Yeah, he did a lot of odd jobs around the country, including Dogfish Head, and he got himself a lot of free beer, is what I read from their website. If you have a chance to visit Rhinegeist's website to read on their history, it's kind of comical. just like the words and verbiage that they use is pretty like it's trying to get you to entice you. It's fresh.
They were world changers. They were wealthy businessmen / consultants that came to Cincinnati wanting to re-envision Cincinnati, and they decided the best way to do that would be to start a coffee company there.
Yeah, at the mall.
Yeah, so they decided that these are the guys that just go around and decide, let's start a conglomerate here and redefine this city. And they came into Cincinnati. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
I just can't fathom how people like that operate. But they came into Cincinnati wanting to start a beer thing. They both moved to town, decided they were going to do something in over the Rhine because it was coming up.
Yeah, it was it was prestigious.
Well established, but it was ready for a rebirth. They said lots of like young,
very gentrified.
Yeah, but eventually decided on beer because they said that it had a rich brewing history and it lacked a centralized brew company. Christian Moreland,
the bottling plant that they took over.
Well, that's where they took over, but Christian Moreland had kind of seen its heyday, and they were.
What about Hudepohl?
Yeah, they were gone.
Yeah,
they've been gone down to Sam Adams, right? That's what we.
I thought that Lewis. I thought that Jim had like relationship.
His great three greats
had started Hudepohl.
Started Hudepohl in Cincinnati, and then it went to.
Pardon me.
Yeah, that's why Sam Adams had a big tie to Cincinnati too. But they took over. The former Christian Moreland Packing Hall. Leased a 25,000 square foot building.
You can't say packing hall.
Packing hall?
Definitely not.
That's
just not even for me. That's
what about a fudgery?
Whose nickname is that?
Caleb Moore?
Yeah.
Nick, you can't say, oh, because I'm just going to edit that out.
Caleb Moore.
Tough look.
What a guy.
I would.
You could.
I heard he founded the fudgery.
Yeah. You're
is that what you would call a place that makes fudge, the fudgery?
I think,
or is that like a piggyback on plagiarism? I fudged up.
Yeah,
fudgery.
It's like creamery adjacent.
Piggyback on plagiarism is my new band name. I called it.
I've already heard that band. They fucking blow.
I bet they do.
Fucking blow.
What?
Fucking blow.
Fuck and blow.
Is that what you said? They fucking
blow.
So
there's a lot of sex and a lot of blow. Got it.
Anyways.
Sounds a lot like a crack house.
Their brewer that they brought on, remember his name?
Dick. Was it Dick?
Jim Matt.
Yeah. How apropos.
I bet he works out a lot.
I bet he got some beer spilled on him at some point. Being a brewer, He was a pharmaceutical chemist.
Yeah.
So, probably more money he wasn't big pharma yet.
You're not going to make a Breaking Bad joke, or was it too easy?
Jim Matt, hot take, probably made meth.
Yeah, definitely he was the original
Walter White.
Yeah, thank you. Couldn't think of the WW.
Exploits were loosely based off.
One more W, and then we got an internet website.
He's a Tuco. Salamanca.
Are those the best three letters in a row? Or would you say the best three would be
AAA, AAA?
They'll pick you up.
You don't play WWW ball.
That's Enterprise.
Oh, that's a bad one. I'm told.
Seth, if you cover your mouth but you still say it, we hear it in the mic. You have a $300 mic.
The deaf people can't see him talk though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I got it. This whole segment's getting edited out. It's just going to be one long continuous beep. No, just the parts I'm saying. You guys are good.
I do have a question though, Seth. Now that you said that, and Kenny said the deaf people won't be able to read it. No, how unfortunate. How do deaf people ever listen to a podcast? It's an untapped market. We need to really
subtitles.
Yeah, but what if we weren't doing video? Like, do you think a deaf person ever pulls up their phone, looks at podcasts, and is just like, fuck?
Probably. They probably say fuck a lot for a lot of things.
Oh my God.
Oh,
now
that's getting bleeped out.
That has to get edited out.
There's a lot of bleeps in this one.
So I'd imagine podcasts, they probably don't listen to podcasts. They might watch. I don't think I even have subtitles turned on for our thing. I probably get sued for that.
Yeah.
I'll work on it. So they brought on Jim Matt, right?
Yeah, Jim Matt.
Yeah, he was covered with beer, pharmachemist.
I spilled a beer on the Jim Matt. I get it. Okay, for everybody watching, I spilled beer on the mat.
Man.
1 ounce.
Ruining
Poured it out for reps for Jesus.
Anyway. He was making coffee at a coffee shop that they went to frequented in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. They brought him on because he made homebrew
Yeah.
on his spare time at home. He was
Do
a
you
hobbyist.
have the name of that? The beer, his famous beer that they loved that got him to do it?
Truth.
Inspiration Island was his first beer that became Truth.
Oh, I didn't know it was called Inspiration Island.
That was his home
Truth
brew
is-
that they tested with him and from him, and they were like, "We want you."
Truth is a way better name than Inspiration. That's the
No, it
stupidest
sounds
name.
very Disney.
I love that TV show.
You know who really likes Inspiration
It's
Island?
Reading Rainbow.
Caleb Moore.
Epstein.
God, why with the Caleb Moore?
Epstein.
Ron Burgundy.
Inspiration. Ugh.
Nick, I want to see the flight logs. Nick Flair's on it.
Flight logs of what?
Yeah. The what was the Golden Express? What'd they call that thing? Sunshine Express. Lolita Express. Am I making up Express? That's it.
No, that sounds right.
The
I'm
Lolita
so
Express.
confused right now.
Yeah,
What
we
is
get it.
happening?
I get it. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, well,
They
late.
secured investments. They brought
Peed
on
on
this
the
Jim
seat.
Matt. They tasted his homebrew, which was Truth. So Truth was a homebrew. Like this guy made this at his house. That's amazing to me. That this
he's
is
a
like
chemist. Why wouldn't he?
I don't know.
The meth market was on a down.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that he made like one of the most famous beers. Well, not most famous, but one of the most famous craft beers, at least in Ohio. He made it in his house, and everyone liked it so much. That's pretty cool. They brought him on. They secured investors. They leased a building in over the Rhine neighborhood. Like I said, Christian Moreland Packing Hall.
Yep.
That's where we got off on the tangent. Construction renovation took only 6 months. Home brewing and judging competitions on the side. That's what he was doing, Jim Matt. So he had an idea of what good beer was.
Yeah, laugh.
Jim
Can't
Matt.
stop laughing at his
It's a
name.
good name. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
he just got walked all over.
some people have
in the early
legendary
days.
like first and last names, and his is just like
Like who?
Jim Bob Cooter.
That's a made up name.
No, it's really not. He's the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions 4 years ago.
Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter.
I like Jim Matt better.
I know. I'm just saying a lot of people have like Jim Bob and all these names.
Yeah.
Those are like really famous, like first and last names
You don't
that are
see a
both
Jim
first
Matt
names.
Cooter
You don't see a
very
Jim
often.
Matt. Yeah.
So this guy was no stranger to beer. I don't want to undersell him. He did make Truth at home, but he was setting up labs and
did.
quality controls for Indianapolis's Sun King Brewery, which is a big brewery that I've been to in Indianapolis. I just said that. He moved to Cincinnati to open Christian Moreland's brew house in downtown Cincinnati. So they were probably pretty lucky to bring him on board.
I've been there to eat food. It's very good.
The food.
The food is good. Yes.
Okay.
I honestly, you asked me before we did this episode if it was, because I said it's a really good food place. You said, is it a food place or is it a beer place that you just had really good food? And when I went there, it definitely has like a very like tap room feel to it.
Probably because it's a tap room.
Well, yeah. Well, so they nailed that. They knocked that one out of the park right
Fucking
beside
nailed
Great
that
American
shit.
Ballpark. But
Caleb Moore went to a tap room.
Okay. Well, I bet he did.
He invented the tap
Was
room.
he in the basement of that tap room?
Was he?
I don't know. It seems like he went to the tap room, went to the basement. But it was really good food. But didn't get the impression when I was there that it was like a beer brewery. Like it felt like it was a restaurant that had good beer from Cincinnati.
Maybe they didn't brew it in the house where you were.
Yeah. Well, that's funny that you mentioned that. The 25,000 square foot place, the packing plant that they brew.
Can't get past the packing plant.
Yeah. Well, it's going to
I
live on.
said it twice. You still got another one, a freebie. So go ahead.
Okay. Regardless, where they have their main brewery is the big leagues, quote unquote. They actually have an innovation brewing facility in Camp Washington, which is just outside of Cincinnati, that they do all their innovation brewing. So like
Innovation Island?
no, Inspiration Island.
Damn. Almost thought
Is
we
that
were
like
full
is that
circle.
like Kosai for beer?
Yeah, maybe.
Let's go. It's not that far.
Yeah, it's like only an hour away.
Not now.
No, I wasn't picking up what you're putting down.
All right. So go ahead.
Second largest in Ohio in 2018, 28th largest independent. So it's still independent. That's nice. Big Beer hasn't bought it yet.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be independent? You just own one brewery? Like
It means that Big Beer doesn't buy you. And
that you got to define big beer.
I'm thinking of like a conglomerate that owns you and owns your production facility /
We got into
profits
this
off
once
of your
before.
beer.
What's a craft brew? Like Yingling's considered the #1 craft brewer in America. What's a craft brew? Because Yingling's pretty freaking big.
Yeah.
So is it It's still like family owned, family controlled, not owned by a faceless corporation.
I feel like independent would tell you that like the company is solo, so like they maintain all of their profits for their employees.
Like the head of the family or those two guys call the shots, not a board, maybe.
Yeah, almost like you're paying the taxes.
Like, are they traded on the stock exchange, you think?
I don't know. Are they publicly traded? We easily.
That might be what independent means. It means they're not answerable to a group of people.
Investors.
Possibly.
They're answered to, like, they got a Kickstarter and they're like, well, this is our money. You can't have say over what happens in the company. I don't know.
2014, fun little tidbit for all of our people that want to win the
Trivia award.
Bryant Golding, the second half of B. In 2014, GQ said he was the craft beer expert.
Craft, yeah.
So he's the Tom Brady of craft brewing.
They started in 2013, and then so that's next year. Like he's already getting picked up on GQ articles. That's pretty.
Must
good,
be a hot man.
It's like rookie of the year shit.
Yeah. That's why I said he's the GQ. He's got an underwear line coming out.
They didn't even begin selling their beer.
Jim Matt on the waistband.
They didn't even begin selling their beer till 2014. Their initial beers were Cougar and Truth, which are still available. First,
also Uncle and Spikelet. Those were the first four.
Oh, okay. There was an original 4. Got it. They were first available in 5 different Krogers in July of 2014. By September, what's that, 2 months? August, September? 65 different Krogers had started selling their beer. So these guys knew how to operate a business. By December, they had expanded with a new distribution facility solely for them in Kentucky. So they blew up in 2014. Market research firms reported that Rhinegeist was the top new craft beer of 2014 in the entire United States based on a $782,000 initial supermarket sale year. That's insane to me that they start selling in July and by the end of the year, they're the number 1 craft brewer.
Do you think that it's because like there were like Kroger Plus Platinum members that were getting in early on it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they hit up that delicatessen counter every day.
Yeah.
Is
that where the best bang for the buck is to get to the next tier?
It's a lot of value. Seafood, if you can get a good seafood counter there.
I'm on a seafood diet.
Ooh, I seafood, I eat it. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. I don't know about your diet. You have diabetes.
That's fucked.
I have diabetes.
HIPAA.
Shit, I'm not a doctor. I didn't.
You didn't do your Hippocratic oath.
I'm only a doctor by hobby, not by trade.
Can we go on a tangent about deli meats real quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sodium.
Nitrates. What's your go-to deli meat?
Depends. Am I pregnant? Because I don't eat deli meat when I'm pregnant.
You're a man, so
that's fair.
I'm going to assume you're not pregnant. Your wife could be, but do you not eat it out of solidarity?
No, I like deli meats. I will eat meats. Now's no time for lifting.
Seth's got to get a pump in real fast.
So, yeah, deli meat, I don't know. It's not good for you, but it's good.
I mean, I go to Troyer's.
You go ahead. Take the floor on this.
I go to
stance.
I go to Troyer's. I love deli meat. I get, I'm a big ham guy. I'm not a big turkey fan. Some chicken breasts are good, but it has to be kind of
sliced.
It's sliced, yes.
Sliced chicken breast. I was just clarifying for the.
Yeah. Ham is definitely my go-to.
Ham.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Honey ham.
You don't see that very often anymore.
Really? Am I an old soul?
Big ham guys?
Ham. We ham it up.
Yeah.
John Ham.
I think turkey's number 1.
Not fucking around crew.
We should do deli meat podcast.
Yeah. So funny thing I read in the story of why we have the name Truth for that name.
With deli meats.
Do you know what his original intent, Jim Matt's original intent was with Truth? It was to cram as many hops in it for personal consumption, and then they ended up loving it. So let's load this bitch up with hops.
Yeah.
It really jumped off the floor, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, right, McLovin.
That probably correlates with the IBU, right?
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
Pretty
75,
direct.
right?
Like bitter, the more hops, the bitterer the beer, right?
Yeah.
Is that accurate? Or am I?
Yeah, I think it's like 10 IBUs short of hairspray.
Is that accurate?
I think that's my interpretation of it. I'm not an IPA guy.
We should just make liquid hops and just call it hairspray beer. Sorry, we just gave that away. Now someone's going to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
So if you were to just like gum up some hops, what would be the IBU of that? Is there like an infinite IBU? What does it top out at, I wonder?
100%.
You think it's subjective? It's obviously subjective. It's international bitter units, but does anybody agree internationally on what that is, period?
I think that's the point. International.
Yeah, but does a world agree on anything ever?
What is IBU?
It's going to tell you international bitter unit.
Yeah.
It seems pretty
You
objective.
need to look up the origin of IBU and how many nation states agreed on it. Or nations.
do you think it was
Not
like-
everybody's a... Go ahead, Seth.
Do you think it like got voted on by NATO or what?
Yeah. Like today, instead of fighting off war, we're going to discuss beer. And everybody's like, hell yeah, we're getting drunk today.
When formulating a recipe or incorporating a new hop into a beer, brewers will calculate the expected IPUs of their beer. So I don't know if the score that we're getting is an expected or a measured. I don't know if that can be measured. It says beers can range from 1 to about 100 IBUs.
So that's the sliding scale of it.
Spectrophotometry.
Don't say spectrum.
No, I didn't. You interrupted me.
Okay,
I wasn't
sorry.
done with my word. IBU is measured by a process known as spectrophotometry. Hops are boiled to promote alpha acids to isomerize, becoming you're a chemist, I'm butchering these words. Isomerize, becoming active. The isomerized alpha acids are slightly hydrophobic. That's racist. Allowing them to shift into a specific layer in the boiled wort.
So what you're saying is
WORT.
you have to be a German chemist to truly measure an IBU.
Yeah.
That's why every beer has a brewer that is German.
They just know.
They just know. They
Are
get
there
it.
a lot of German IPAs?
No.
Not yet.
They're all ales and pilsners and
A lot of
Kolsch's.
German IRAs were squandered. They were all started in the late 40s. Who knew? What else have we got going on? They blew up really fast. They sold their initial year. They sold 11,000 barrels of beer.
With as big as they are, they're still only in Ohio,
Wait,
Kentucky.
Nick.
Sorry.
He's still talking.
My
You know
bad.
how many barrels are in? How much beer is in a barrel of beer?
No.
31 gallons.
Wait. Is
31 gallons. So how many ounces are in a gallon?
I don't want to do that. I don't know.
on.
16. No, 30, 24. A quart.
Are you sure these are internationally agreed upon units?
Barrels?
No, never.
Probably.
It's just back
Oh, I
to
see.
throwback.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure.
Are these beer barrels or are these hop barrels? But a barrel is 31 gallons. I had to look that up.
128 ounces are in 1 gallon.
Yeah.
So quick, without using your computer, how many ounces?
Nope. Gonna use it.
All right, use your computer.
What are you gonna ask me?
No, I'm not going to ask you to look up math. 31 gallons. So a barrel is two. When you see a normal keg, like when you think of a keg at a party, that's a half barrel. So 2 of those is a full barrel of beer. So they sold 11,000 barrels. So they sold 22,000 kegs their first year. That's pretty good for a new beer. Like if I started a beer company today, no one would buy a barrel of it
Yeah.
for years.
And by then it's skunked to hell.
No, I would just drink it all.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this tastes terrible, but it's free.
They're only with as big as you said they are right now, with being the 28th largest independent and second largest in Ohio. They still
25th largest craft brewer.
Oh, so that was 2018. My bad. In 2018, they still were only in Ohio, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Wisconsin.
In 2018?
Yeah, that's the most recent data that I have.
In Men's Journal in 2014. Again, this is November. So 4 months after July to November.
Don't do it.
7 to
7
11.
to 11.
4. In 4 months, Men's Journal said that they were in the top 100 best beers in the world. Truth.
It's Men's
Rhinegeist
Journal.
Truth. They definitely had a cousin that worked as a journalist there.
Right.
That's free advertising.
Nepotism.
Yep. And
They did Cidergeist too, which is their cidery, but I'm not a big cider guy. You asked me.
it.
I'm not a cider guy. Never have been. I'll still try it because I want to try, but I'm not a big sour guy and I'm not a big cider guy because they're really dry.
Pip. They make Pip. I think.
What the hell's that?
Pip. It's a cider. That's the only. I just know my buddy Kevin drinks Pip.
Yeah, it's Slate Run.
Shout out to Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin, for drinking Pip.
Yeah, Pip is made by them. It's a really like kind of like a tart cider.
This episode brought to you by Kevin and Pip.
It's a tart cider.
Yo,
Yeah, I don't drink much of it. What?
I got to do a shout out since you said a shout out.
Yeah.
Dr. Delgado.
Just know that Dr. Delgado. This was an afterthought shout out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's it. That was it. I don't know who that is.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
It's the end of this segment.
Don't go see Dr.
Well, I will
Acula.
say I did find out, and I have it on good authority, that we are the most searched and pinged podcast.
From Nick's house.
No, on the moon. The Russian cosmonauts have informed me.
Do you mean by moon-faced people?
What's
I don't know any of those.
What's a moon-faced person?
Somebody really pale, like an albino.
Kind of like a spoon face.
Oh.
Oh my God.
It's from a Tosh.0 routine.
I just got it.
No, you don't. There's nothing to get. It's Tosh.0.
That's even better.
He brings a group of people into a room, like all different ethnicities, and he says, "Answer
People
me
with
this.
protruding
I'm going to say
foreheads
things, and I
and-
wanted to know, do you think they're racist?" And he says, everything he says, he's like, "Spoon face," and then he uses it in a sentence. He's like, "Get out of here, you nasty spoon face," and everyone's like, "Yeah, that's terrible. I hate that." And he's like, "Well, why?" And you got to look up Tosh.0 is this racist? It's a great.
Check it out.
Unless you hate him, then have someone else look it up for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all we have on Rhinegeist.
Wait, hold on.
we have more?
Did you just go to the conclusion?
Yeah, I did.
I don't have much more. I was
No,
just
I
gonna
don't.
keep going.
No, I was going to say this is really good.
What is it?
Sunny D.
Is that the Sunny D
Seltzer.
hard?
Seltzer.
No, just regular. It's what kids have.
Happy Dad hard seltzer.
I thought we were doing like lemonades earlier, so I
Yeah.
got a tang.
Tang.
A little bit of an orange.
Nick, you
throwback.
can't say ooh because I have to edit it out
Why?
because it sounds ridiculous.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is that one step below Metamucil?
What is?
Metamucil?
I mean, I know it's medicine, but I don't really know what. Is it
I don't
for
know. It's
shitting your
orange
pants?
flavor looking. It's like in a can, like a whey protein, but instead it's like vitamin C shit that you put in beverages.
What's the best medicine flavor?
Grape.
You know, I did read an article though. No, you
Hold on,
bring
hold
up
on, hold
an
on.
interesting
He just asked a
point.
question. He just prompted a.
I'm going to say cherry. Okay, there you go.
All right, but black cherry or dark cherry or
I don't know that
strawberry
there's
cherry?
a difference in medicine and cherries.
There's gotta be.
There's a medicine cherry, if you know what I'm saying. First medicine you ever had that popped your medicine cherry.
Is that prescribed sex? What is?
That sounds
Could
like
be.
that sounds like self coitus.
Leave that up for
Kenny's band
interpretation.
Self coitus.
No, prescribed sex.
Prescribed sex.
We are adult education.
What is that? Is a
That is from Girl Next Door.
no.
Yes, it is.
No, it's the similar one that I always confuse Girl Next Door.
Sex drive.
Out of
And
my.
then-
She's out of my league.
And then I always also confuse it with She's Just Not That Into You, but it's She's Out of My League.
Oh, the Hall & Oates cover band.
Yeah.
Adult
Slapshot Regatta.
Slapshot Regatta.
So that's all we have. I'm kidding.
No,
Yeah.
but what are your thoughts on Rhinegeist? I'm not a huge fan of it because they do a lot of IPAs. I'm not a big IPA fan. I do like their Cheetah, which is their lager. Call it boring. Call it me being an old American that likes a lager and a Pilsner, but that's my go-to. They also have Hustle, which I'm a big Reds fan, unfortunately. That's branded for the Reds. It's called Rhinegeist Hustle.
Is that in partnership with the Reds?
I don't know, but
Does it have
they
their logo
sell it
on it?
at Great American Ballpark, and it's pretty decent. It's an IPA, but it's not like overloaded with hops. So I'd be interested to see what the IBU rating is on it.
So it's not an India Pale Ale. It's like a
It might just be a pale ale
Northern
lager.
Asian Pale Ale, an IPA.
Okay.
I don't know,
Did you say a 9 PA?
an IPA.
Like no?
Northern Asia,
Oh, I thought you meant like German.
PA?
No.
Napa,
Napa
Yeah, the hops are great this time of year.
wine.
when you can get them.
Heard they recently added more hops to the recipe.
Nick, why do you have a shot glass sitting in front of you? Did you lose
That's
a bet
gonna
on
be
Facebook?
nope. That's gonna be a short coming up. So tune in for me to drink this turpentine.
Oh, that's going to be a short.
Oh, it's a short?
Oh, I see.
Ooh,
But
it could be a long. Depends on how long it takes me to drink it.
I don't know. That would mean I would have to take the camera off the tripod.
Shot short.
So you should probably just do it right now.
Yeah, well, I'll put this into a chapter so they can skip right to it. Go ahead, bud.
Nick, you can cut this as part of the mini video. Send it to Kenny.
Psst, psst. That's my
Yeah,
snippet.
that's
Snippet noise.
tough joke.
I wrote down mannerism, but not
Sounds like a frog in his
mannerism.
basement.
Mannerism.
I'm gonna what?
Mannerism? Not mannerism. I
No.
don't know. I asked Nick if he had a brain aneurysm because he yelled something earlier sporadically, and then
Yeah.
I thought like a man cave, but like mannerism,
Mannerism.
but not a mannerism. I don't know. There's something to that. We can use that. for
man
something.
aneurysm.
Yeah, but like I don't know.
Now you're Yeah.
I'm digging a hole.
Now you're just teasing all of our fellow podlers.
What do you have a shot glass for?
I have a shot glass because apparently I'm supposed to do this shallow.
Hey, don't mansplain it.
Your votes rolled in and decided that Nick
Do I have something
will have
to
to
chase
drink.
this with? Because this is gonna. It says it's flammable. The back of this says flammable liquid. Do not use products in flaming dishes or drinks. All 151 proof rum may flare up and continue to burn when ignited. So what you're saying is, don't light a match and have a cigar after I drink this.
Yeah.
I think you'd be all right. I think the ethanol will have been
Just
absorbed.
want to point out
Ethyl.
that I am old enough to know that this color is not what 151 looked like.
Just for the
It
viewers,
definitely doesn't smell like urine.
I edited that in post. That's why the color looks off.
Yeah.
That color is actually fine.
God, that looks terrible. My
If anything, it
my
looks
balls
lighter
are going
than-
into my stomach watching this thing and smelling it.
I thought you got neutered.
Yeah, well, I might have. I might be now. This might do it. In case there was any doubt.
Will you be siring any more children?
I don't think anybody's used sire since the feudal ages, but no.
You look like a yeoman.
God,
I can't believe you agreed to do this.
I didn't agree.
I can't believe you had a friend who agreed to do this for you. Ooh, Kenny, stick your pinky in it. I don't know what he's doing.
Rhinegeist self-distributes to Cincinnati and Columbus. That's why you see the little Rhinegeist trucks driving out. They
But
still
did you
drive
talk
around.
about? We didn't even talk about the controversy.
You'd think that they...
Yeah, you tried to
Yeah,
end the
we're waiting.
podcast, remember?
Oh fuck.
We were waiting. Now
All
I
right.
can't even chapterize this
Well,
shot.
let's. Okay, so hold on, real fast before I do this and end my life.
Can I see
the
that? Let me
controversy-
see the color for the camera. Thanks. All right, now Nick needs to do one.
Okay. Nevertheless, controversy with Rhinegeist. Anybody familiar with OU? You familiar with OU? Your wife went to OU.
Yeah.
Seth went to OU. I will do the drink.
Talkie.
Oh, that's talkie, more drinky.
Don't disclose where my wife went to college on a nationally syndicated podcast, please.
Technically, it's global and intergalactic because we are important on the moon.
No, the moon is owned by United States.
No, it's not.
Suck it.
Maybe. To be continued on that. But Bronies, popular bar, Court Street,
Carpenter Street,
Athens,
not Court Street.
whatever. Nevertheless,
Yeah, same shit.
they had a Rhinegeist sign, a neon sign. It was a Rhinegeist sign, and it said, "If you're looking for a safe place, sweetheart, it's not here."
Oof.
And they
And
so
they just
Rhinegeist
meant
pulled
OU.
all of their beer from there,
Sorry.
which is weird and kind of full circle because Joe Burrow plays for the Bengals. Rhinegeist is a brewery from Cincinnati, but he also lived and went to school in high school in Athens. So those are like earmarked together for history.
You heard it here first. You're claiming on national television that Joe Burrow is a rapist?
Nope. I'm saying that if anything, he was like, Rhinegeist, you got to pull that shit. I
Never
don't
pull
condone OU antics.
Yeah. Do you
So
think
he's a Me Too lover.
do you think that the sign meant the Bronies bar, or do you think it meant OU in general?
I'm going to guess, based on the fact that you and I actually spent Halloween down there a couple times, that it's probably OU that we should be afraid of, not necessarily just Bronies. Bronies just kind of like beefed up that persona. They're like, yeah, we'll flex our muscles. We're
down
about
there-
this.
We were down there on an activism campaign, though, for
We were
for
saving
water
li-
safety.
Life safety.
Yeah.
Water life safety.
Nick wore a floaty.
Aqua life. It was cold that day. We chugged Budweiser's big beer. There we go.
Nick did. I sipped mine like a connoisseur.
Yeah, the only other small controversy they had is just because Rhinegeist is new, they tried to self-distribute, like you said, in Ohio and stuff like that. There was a Kentucky law that was passed, and now they have to pay a wholesaler.
Nick, you're tapping.
Oh, my bad.
They have to.
Yeah, the Kentucky law prohibits them from self-distributing, so they have to use a wholesaler now.
Sounds like a First Amendment violation.
I don't think there's a law on freedom of distribution.
If I want to self-distribute, I usually have to go to the basement.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how you get kids.
Yeah,
Unless you're Joe Burrow, because that guy pulls out. I think that's what you were getting at.
that's what he was saying.
I heard
Yeah.
I heard
I
this
tried to
once.
get that in.
And I'm just curious. So they say like sex
God.
with 3 people is a threesome, and sex with 2 people is a twosome.
No, I've never heard that one.
Now I understand why everybody calls you handsome.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Hold on. Is this the part where I come back like 3 minutes later? I'm like, I'm still thinking about that joke. And you're like, well, you didn't laugh at it.
I saw you smile, so that's all I need. That's all the affirmation I need, Seth. He's handsome and lonesome, if you know what I'm saying. We'll drink.
Just got to my face when that happened. Now you just oh boy.
That looked bad.
Oh God. That's
Uncut
terrible.
here.
Nice take, boys.
So in 26, are we done?
No, I just meant like you guys. Well done.
So 26. So they started sales in 2014. 2016, they got second place in USA Today's Reader Choice New Brewery poll. In 2017, Forbes called Rhinegeist one of the hippest new beer brands in the United States. In 2019, Thrillist Mag said 32 hottest of the new breweries in America. How many years? I mean, I know you're up and coming, but you're 5 years old now. Are you still a new brewery? I don't know.
What? How? Yeah, that's a subjective term.
I guess when most breweries, I guess you're new. If most breweries that are selling nationwide have their roots in like pre-Civil War America, you okay?
I just was going to give a shout out to John because we both made a pact that we would never drink 151 again, and I just did that. The last time he did it, after we made our pact, he threw up in a bush, and I have not thrown up in a bush, so
It's always time.
Who's
balls
John?
in your court, John.
You guys Eskimo brothers?
I know John. John is the one that he's got the
mole.
No, the urinal cake stuck to his face.
Oh yeah, that one time we went to that Montgomery Gentry concert.
And Clay Matthews, the Porta-John, and knocked out the wall.
Yeah, that was a Dick's commercial, and he was like, Clay Matthews, blow up the play, and he dove into it, and ended up going through it, and then landed in the urinal.
If there's anyone here from Porta-John service and repair, we apologize. There's who you want. Yeah. Not me, not Nick. He's the one that blew out that wall at Lane and High Porta-John on the night of August 14th. I don't know, some shit. 2013, probably.
What do you think the technicians thought when they showed up and they're like, why the fuck?
I don't think
vandalizes a Porta-John.
Do Porta-John technicians have thoughts?
I don't know how to respond to that without sounding like an asshole.
No, I'm not trying to be rude. I think they go to work, they shut down. They're just like, let's fucking get this day over with.
Have you ever seen the movie? Here we go back to movies, but have you ever seen Wild Hogs? You know, Martin Lawrence is like the firm. He works for the firm.
I don't know anything about Wild Hogs. I know it's some old dudes, and it's got David Busey. Is that his name? Gary Busey.
No, William Gacy.
Yeah, I said that.
William H. Gacy. Popular on Shameless.
I said Gary Busey.
My throat is on fire.
You got throated.
Holy shit! I gotta edit that out.
Anything that was in my throat is literally incinerated and in my stomach now.
Good. That other guy's DNA is out of there now.
Okay.
No, it's not.
I'm not lonesome.
Is that Bacardi with cream?
I usually have a twosome.
That's why I took that shot so everyone could see
how much of a bitch I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said it.
I know. I saw the look in your eye. I've been friends with you long enough to know that that's what you're insinuating. You implied it, I inferred it, and I stated it. Boom. You're roasted.
At the end
self-roasted.
At the end of the day, whose throat hurts? Usually yours. When it comes to 151.
Yeah, that stuff.
Thanks for the clarification.
Whose throat hurts? Yours.
Still don't know why I wrote mannerism.
Dude, Nick's a fucking throat goat.
They've said that on the moon.
I am from the Queen City.
We're just going to keep going with this podcast until we get shut down.
The battery dies.
We're going to get flagged.
FCC won't let me be or let me be me or MTV.
Wait, don't rap too much because then they'll run the algorithm and be like, oh shit, Eminem is on there. We got to cancel that one.
If they ran that algorithm and it hit on that,
suck it.
I give way more credit to their algorithms. They'll be like, that's obviously not discernible.
How do you suck up?
Yeah. We're going to keep going with that. I got nothing else.
I don't have Seth, what are your thoughts on Rhinegeist, even though you're drinking Sunday D seltzer?
Do you like it?
How was the Petrichor that I gave you?
Is that how you say it?
I'm going to say Petrichor or Petrichor. I'm going to say that since it's
probably German,
so the CH is going to be K.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I would say that I enjoyed it.
On our previous podcast with Brewdog, you said that you enjoyed Hefeweizen, so it was a wheat beer, so I figured it was right up your alley. See how I...
That is really...
alley!
That's what I meant, and I'm glad you picked up on it.
I'm glad you don't... That's probably a phrase you don't use in this house very often.
Alley!
Yeah, I don't say it
Alley!
much. I scream it, but I think it was... Damn.
That's crisp.
This is why I shouldn't be on a beer podcast. I produce things. I don't need to talk, but
We need you to talk.
I like the beer. It was better than any of the ones that we had last week, although it was probably like a different market segment, right? Like the stuff we had last week was like
more
typical-
bitter, old
dad beers.
Yeah, yeah.
old dad beers.
This one was, what was the alcohol percentage on this one again?
The one that we just drank,
Yeah.
I got it.
Petrichor is 5.5.
Yeah, it was smooth.
Yeah, it's only had 561 reviews, so it's very, very new in the Rhinegeist family. Probably fresh off their innovation.
Or under-distributed.
No,
Not under-distributed, just less distributed, maybe?
no, I think it's just new. They have an innovation brewery, Kenny. They have a specific brewery place where all they do is try to come up with new concoctions.
Oh.
Thankful of Jim Matt.
I just looked up petrichor and what it means.
What does it mean? Tell us.
It's a pleasant smell that frequently accompanies the first rain after a long period of warm, dry weather.
So it's a wheat beer, which is a spring beer. That's perfect.
Well, we haven't had rain in like 4 weeks. I'm getting really dry skin. So I'm really looking forward to the petrichor.
And we have the Canadian problems. And I just want to state that there's some wildfires going on in Canada, and we want to apologize if we set off a series of events with our Molson podcast where we staked a border battle with Canada and all the people that are now setting fires in Canada.
So you're making the claim. You heard it here first.
Oh, yes.
These are self-started fires. Not
Self-started fires.
You're saying arson. You're claiming arson.
Arson. Okay. Second thing, stake to claim.
Oh, boy.
We may or may not have.
America or we?
We. From our second podcast, it was either that horrible or we inspired a lot of Canadians to set fire and join and defect to the United States.
It does have the most views of any Molson Canadian review podcast that
By
has
MaltVault?
been shot in my basement.
I don't know.
So we apologize, Canada. Not really.
Well, just keep your fires in your own country.
Yeah.
We
don't need your shitty air and
They
healthcare.
probably have way better air than us. All the pine trees.
Yeah, not now. They're on fire.
That's fair. Releasing a bunch of nitrogen. I like Rhinegeist Truth. I purchased it on the reg.
On the rag?
No, on the reg.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Just want to clarify.
It's
I
delicious.
bet it is on the rag.
It always disappears too fast. If there is Elvis Juice or Rhinegeist Truth for sale, I will probably reach for the Elvis Juice because it comes in the 16-ounce cans.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
So, a guy's name followed by juice. Would you drink something called John Juice?
No, because we don't like Johnny's Mole. And we're afraid that it's coming out of that. There's a lot of liquid in there. Maybe.
I would not drink Johnny's Juice because I know where it's been.
Maybe Jim's juice, because I'm going to assume it's Jim Matt.
All right, lick the floor. Different definitions of floor.
We just need to
No.
a 3-second clip of Nick just doing that, and that's going to do numbies, whatever that was.
To be fair, it's not Elvis's juice.
Yeah, that's why I said
Elvis.
John Juice.
If you called it John Juice, yeah, I'd drink that.
Yeah.
I did call it John Juice.
That S holds a lot of weight.
Yeah. Especially if there's an apostrophe on it.
What about John's Juice, no apostrophe? I just grammatically made an error.
Maybe if there's a town named John's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that plays.
St. John's Juice.
Yeah. John's juice.
I'd hit
St.
it up.
John's juice.
But
I've had St. John Brewery from the islands. That's really good shit. It's
Guava.
not as good as, fuck you. It's not as good as guava.
how about
right.
compared to 151 rum?
Oh, God. That is set your hair on fire with that shit.
How's your throat?
Don't talk about Liam that
It's
way.
dry, scratchy.
Don't talk about Liam that way.
What'd you say?
I said, don't talk about your brother that way.
Speaking of my brother, he moves back to town this week. The Flying Tomato is back in Columbus. We should have him on for like a segment where we just talk about how to make a beer bottle because he works for Eaton. Maybe he can give us some commercial engineering on that.
Yeah, eating that ass.
Eating that out?
Eaten like
Eating some head. Sorry. E-F-O.
That's fair. E4.
It was getting some.
Yeah, we should have him on and have him explain why the word shandy is a thing now. Thanks, Zoomers.
That's pirates. We're back to this. Pirates came up with shandy.
This is how we're fading out with Skrillex on this podcast.
They sang sea shandies.
Sorry, I'm done.
Damn, we're going to get tagged for 3 different songs in this episode.
Here we are getting bold with the FCC.
I don't think there's a copyright infringement
At
on
us.
Cars backing into dumpsters or whatever that noise was just there.
Industrial noises.
We are going to get hit with a lawsuit from Santa Claus, though. Ho, ho, ho. Petrichor. So look for Petrichor. I don't know. They said they like it. You laugh like a 4-year-old girl.
I'm trying to shut the fuck up because you're making fun of my bold.
If you haven't had Truth, you're living under a rock. Go buy Truth. It's delicious. You won't regret it. If you haven't had Petrichor, you're one of every other American that's not in this room.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Juicy Truth is delicious.
Juicy fruit. Every time you say juicy truth, I can't stop thinking about juicy fruit.
Juicy Truth is like truth with a little bit of, it's like
juice.
Kind of a guilty pleasure because I'm not a shandy guy, but Juicy Truth just kind of has some more, like a juice is added to it, obviously. And then Knowledge is like 11% alcohol. It's an Imperial IPA.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude, it'll
knock your socks
I think
off.
I've only had one, and I was like, I can't.
It'll put you on the gym mat.
I can't do more than one of this. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in today. I am Nick Flair. This is Kenny Quickpack. Thank you for joining us on the Malt Vault.
I'm nobody. Fuck me, right?